Hello and welcome to the Pens and Pixels podcast, episode 78.
79?
I'm your host, Cal G. To my left is the coordinator extraordinaire.
Mike Kent.
The podcast is a place you come to if you want to hear what the art and news of video games, comics, and movies that week.
So you like sass, you like crass, and we don't going to give this podcast a pass. The hairball this
So
time.
spicy.
It's a spicy hairball.
So spicy.
You're going to gag on it.
So this week, we're going to go over the newsy news you need to know as per usual. And then after the break, we're going to be going down an entire segment of The Road to E3! Because this is the last week, you're going to be able to hear any E3 predictions before the actual show happens.
Yep. And we're also going to talk about some of the stuff that's been popping up around town for the build-up to E3, and any of the rumors and so on and so forth that we've all been hearing.
Yeah, so just everything all E3, because the hype train's fucking rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine what we're going to be hearing. We got some juicy rumors in this segment coming up, so.
And it's really confusing. That's the interesting part about this year. Like, every other year, you're just, like, speculating. But there's been so much, like, weird news coming out, which we will hit on later on, but, like, the Square-Enix stuff and then, like, other things. It's been kind of just like, that's going to be there, and we said that, and then suddenly something else comes out just going completely no.
Yeah, you're like, okay, that's not going to be there for sure.
But what will be there is the thing you never thought would be there. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's been an interesting year, because I don't feel like we've gotten as many leaks as we have previous years at this point.
No.
Which is interesting. The stuff that did leak, was, like, Far Cry 5 stuff, and we were like, oh, Far Cry 5 is going to be E3, and then the next week they're like, here it is, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
I
that's
see.
What I thought. I always find it so weird for any sort of company to do any advertising right before E3, like, especially if they're bringing the product to it, like, all of the hype of going up on stage and being, like, all Hideo, your Hideo moment, to stand up and go, look, and instead you're just like, I can't wait.
But I think, again, I think the thing is that they must think that when you announce a game on 2 Fridays before E3, you're controlling that entire day. For all of that Friday, people were talking about Far Cry 5. When you're at E3, people are like, Far Cry 5, and then like 20 minutes later, they're like, Death Stranding, and then you're like, ah, fuck. Like, we were in their minds for like 20 seconds, you know what I mean? So if you announce it before, you're a known property going in.
That's
and
true.
I think that's the thing. Is there any housekeeping this week?
Nothing new, just make sure to tune in on the 21st, weekend of the 21st, for any of the content coming out from Ottawa Game Jam or OJAM, and also join us for the Drink and Draw coming up next Thursday, starting at 7 o'clock. That's it.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, then let's get right into the newsy news. First up, surprising, I guess, kind of, Wonder Woman 2 will return with director Patty Jenkins in a modern setting.
Which is awesome. I mean, Cal and I both haven't seen the movie yet, but it's getting pretty high critical praise. One of the best parts I've loved about this has been like the female reception. As much as I knew female reception would be big, but that it was so like fervorous and so strong. Like I actually went to the theater. I forget why I was there. I was meeting someone. And when I was waiting, I saw a group of little kids, all girls dressed up as Wonder Woman going in to watch it for the first time. And all my friends were all dressed up. And it was like all of these young women and older women, everyone, like women were just piling into the theater to get their hands on the first true female superhero, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first true superhero movie, too. Like, that we haven't... It's fucking bananas. We're, like, 10 years into this whole, like, superheroes are a normal thing every year as a movie, and we're just getting the first one now. Like, it's actually bananas. And I'm glad it's doing well, because otherwise, the executives would have been like, I knew putting a fucking woman on the poster was a bad idea, and they would have just...
And they're like an all-woman screening. How dare they? How sexist. And you're like... I don't really think that's going to be much of a problem.
Yeah, that whole fucking ordeal was a little ridiculous.
It was a little bit ridiculous. But I know that this director has done an amazing job. Really worked very hard to make sure to capture the point very clearly, in the whole equalization of the sexist stuff.
I was actually really worried, too, because she came out, like, this week, I think, and said something like, there are no deleted scenes. Like, almost everything we shot is in the movie. And I was like, oh. I was like, really? But it seems like it turned out fine.
Well, so she got it perfect off the straight shot. It's also what I love about this movie, too, is that, while it's supposed to be about female empowerment, and, obviously the Wonder Woman story of the all-women island thing, the movie is also a story of the balance of it, and then the movie creators are also a story of balance of it, because there's so many women in charge of this movie, But there is a huge team of male writers, and they all worked together. Like, the men sat back and were like, how do I write this to make women look awesome, right? Like, and that was their job, and they were excited to do it. So it's a wonderful analogy of, like, that balance. Not like, oh, women are better, and it only needs to be women. It's like, it's also, like, halfway
Don't
through.
quote me on this, but I think the same kind of thing happened with Mad Max Fury Road.
No, you're right.
Was it the woman who did the vagina monologues?
Well, maybe.
I feel like it was.
Something like, I think it was her.
Anyways, she was like the consultant when when George Miller was writing it, and just being like, he's like, am I doing this right? And he's like, yes, you're writing her like a normal human. Like, that kind of thing, like, which is great.
Have you know the group called Baroness Von Sketch?
No.
It's a CBC comedy sketch troupe. I suggest everyone out there who's Canadian and like Canadian content, it's a sketch comedy show like Amy Schumer or whatever, like any of those sketch comedy shows, but purely Canadian.
Kids and all.
Yeah, Kids and all. 4 women. Possibly the best sketch comedy I've ever seen in my life. These women are fucking hilarious. But they just released a new sketch where they do like a Mad Max Fury Road dystopian future, but they've killed all men, and they're all standing out there and they're all like proud of their accomplishment. And there's like one of them's like, well, guys, don't you just kind of miss men? Like just have them around for just a little. She's like, I think we should kind of rush through this and should have thought about this a bit more. And they have this one scene in it which is so good where they're just like, we don't need men, we have the machine, and it's just this giant like riding bull, like like the bucking bulls covered in dildos. Super funny. Great comedy sketch.
That sounds good. And starring in Wonder Woman alongside Gal Gadot is Chris Pine. Chris Pine, that handsome man.
Very handsome man.
Good thing he's so damn handsome.
Because he's pretty stupid.
He's kind of an idiot. So the headline of this is trying to say it's reigniting the DC versus Marvel war. It's not. It's just one comment from one actor. I'm actually surprised they would allow him to say this publicly, but like, so he says
probably on like a moment where he's like they gave him the microphone. They're like, it's okay, he's pretty.
Yeah.
And then it's just like
he's not.
Some people are stupid, and you're like, oh shit, don't give him the mic.
So he said, within this genre, it's difficult to do something new. And usually, you just see a bunch of people killing one another in outfits and blowing up cities. Like, I know there's a thing called Infinity War, which is like, I really, like, Infinity War? Do we really need more war for all time? Chris Pine, you're in a movie about World War I.
Yes.
You're in a war movie.
You can't talk about no war in your movie when your whole story is about the main character developing their character in the first greatest war in all of recorded human history.
He's like, war fucking passe. Now let me tell you about this movie about Wonder Woman. It takes place during World War I. He just stops.
And the next one's going to take place in World War II. Like,
Pine was initially hesitant to take the role, but later changed his mind after Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins told him what her vision entailed. Pine explains, one of the reasons for sure, she in particular, Patty, was a great reason why I wanted to be involved. I met her, I hadn't read, there was no script, and she just told me what she wanted to do. My story, my character, and Gal's character. So, good. Whatever. Yeah. Chris Pine, it seems like he made a good choice. The movie's doing well.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised you're taking a shot at Marvel, but hey, and Infinity War of all things, like the thing that the Marvel universe has been culminating up to. After, like, if he was like, Ant-Man, we'd be like, oh yeah.
Or Civil War.
It's a guy that shrinks, yeah. Or Civil War even, like, I guess.
Like Civil War. Why do they have to have so many wars in Civil War? Fine. But
yeah, bashing the thing that the whole thing is culminating to is maybe not the greatest choice, but...
What I love, though, is that everyone goes, Wonder Woman star slams, like, this is the title for every one of these articles. Wonder Woman star slams Infinity War, reignites DC versus Marvel war. Like, Chris Pine's dumbass comment is what's going to reignite the fucking... Like, if Patty had sat back and gone, like, fuck Marvel, then maybe that would have ignited something. But stupid Chris Pine comes along and he's like, I'm pretty and I don't know words. and then they're like, oh, the war is on again. Marvel's probably sitting back going like, hey, DC, that guy's real dumb.
Like,
I know. We weren't supposed to give him the mic. He wasn't supposed to be on.
What's his face? The director of Suicide Squad, David Ayer. I'm pretty sure before like the first screening of Suicide Squad, he said "fuck Marvel" into like a microphone or something.
Yeah.
Which is maybe if you directed that movie, not the greatest idea.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean like that was what I mean. Like that was an ignition. That's a reason to fight. But then like Chris Pine saying something. Fuck. I mean, take that out. God, who knows what Robert Downey Jr. has said over his years.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't said anything, honestly.
Yeah, true. They probably make sure they're like, we pay you this much, you want half? Say anything bad.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next up is a story we've been covering for quite some time now, and this is kind of the...
Finally coming to an end.
Yeah, the unfortunate end. Neill Blomkamp's Alien 5 is totally dead. In an interview with The Verge, Blomkamp revealed that he has very little hope the film will ever get made. Here's what he told the outlet when asked if Alien 5 was dead. I think it's totally dead, yes. That would be an accurate assumption at this point. It's sad. I spent a long time working on that, and I feel like it was pretty awesome. But politically, the way it's gone now and the way it all is, it's just not going to live. It's just sad.
This is the next part that gets a bit more interesting, but...
Yeah, Ridley Scott was one of my idols growing up. He's so talented, and he's made this film that really set me off in a direction. I just want to be as respectful and not go stamping around in this world that he created. I think that if the circumstances were different, and I didn't feel like I was getting too close to something that he obviously feels is a massive personal connection to, that things may have played out differently. But I did want to be as respectful as possible.
So this is the weird part. So if you followed the story along with us, or if you followed the story itself, as a big fan of Alien and the idea of Blomkamp's Alien coming in and kind of resetting the universe back to the point where it should have gone, then, like, you've known that Ridley Scott, every single time Neill Blomkamp put anything up there, he started stamping his feet, and he's like, first, like, Neill Blomkamp goes, I'm going to make the next Alien, and then Ridley's like, no, my Alien. I only made the one, but it's mine. And then you're like, okay, so you can make the next one, and he'll make his 5. No, I'm going to make 6.
I'm going to make 6, and they're all prequels.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make 1, and then I'm going to make the prequel to that one after it, and then a sequel to the first one that I'd made.
Yeah. And then you're going to be like, okay, so you're going to go do that, but between two of them, Neill's going to go do his, and that's fine. You know, Sigourney Weaver's, like, literally sitting there going, like, yeah, Ridley, we used to work together, and, yeah, like, you made me as a star, and I need to do this, so let's go. I'm Sigourney Weaver.
Yep.
And then he's like, no, I get all the rights.
And the thing I really don't understand is the fact that, like, Ridley's making all prequels. Like, they're all before, and what Blomkamp wants to do is after. Mm-hmm. Why? That doesn't affect anything. This could be just like a what if Alien 3, like, for real.
Or just let him record it now and get all the footage together. You make all 6 of your movies and let it release later. So this way, Sigourney Weaver and all the actors involved in the original film aren't 80 trying to make this movie. Like, and the reason why I even say this is because, like, you lead this, and he's like, he's constantly going, I wanted to be respectful. I wanted to not go stamping around. I wanted to make sure that things were going really well. But then he's like, and obviously feels a massive personal connection to, and he's talking about Ridley Scott, the massive personal connection to the franchise. And I want to be as respectful as possible. Like, Neill Blomkamp's going like, I'm trying to be respectful. Stop yelling at me, basically. And Ridley Scott's sitting there going the whole time going like, fucking so.
Yeah, I mean, the next line of this article says, for those who've been following the story, it seems like Scott was the one pushing to kill this project off. All of his comments regarding the project seem to indicate that he was far more interested in retelling the origins of the xenomorphs and the engineers, rather than continuing Ripley's story. Since he was essentially in charge of the franchise, Fox probably acquiesced to Scott's wishes.
And because the stupid part about this, too, is that Ridley Scott read and approved and thought it was awesome, the original script written by Blomkamp on Alien 5. Like, what did he do when he got it in the mail and he's in his, like, giant, like, Tim Burton-esque mansion? He's just, like, reading it and he gets to the end and then suddenly he's just like, and then just runs to the patent office. No!
Like, it was too good. You know what I wonder? Maybe this is not the case. This is me fucking spitballing. Do you think it might be something like he was worried about, since Prometheus got, like, a less than, like, favorable reaction, he was scared that, like, when the true Alien 3 came out, Alien 5, whatever it's going to be, like, there's going to be a bunch of headlines like, Neill Blomkamp just revitalized the series, and he just didn't want to see that headline. Like, he was very, like, he's like, I want to revitalize the series. Like, I want to do it.
I guarantee you he was threatened. There's no question in my mind that was the case, because, like, he probably read that and was like, like, this is incredible, and if I try and do another Prometheus or some sequel or continuation of this prequel series, I won't compete. They'll shut me down before they shut Neill down on whatever this is, right? Because the idea is ingenious in its own. Like, Neill could write a 60% to 65% script, and it would get 80 on Rotten Tomatoes just because everyone's happy to see Ripley again and get the story that they begged about. And that's the true tragedy to end this whole story at the end of the day, is that people have been talking about this forever. When I first met Jed and we were both sitting back going, Aliens. We love Aliens. We absolutely love Aliens. Aliens 2, amazing. And then they talk about the fan scripts they used to write. Even Jed, who's not that nerdy, wrote a fan script of, like, the whole story of, like, you know, Newt continuing and Ripley continuing and less cared about male Marine character who's burned in half his face. What was his name? It doesn't matter. He's not that important. But, like, writing that whole story of that continuing, everyone's kind of envisioned that, right? And exploring more with the
Yeah, we want the Alien 3 we never got. We didn't want them to die.
Yeah, no.
in space.
So, like, here we are with it over, and Ridley Scott used his power and his prestige to get his way.
Yeah, which is, it's unfortunate it had to be this way. I mean, I still, fingers crossed, we eventually see it, but it doesn't sound like anytime soon.
But we do get whatever Neill Blomkamp's working on with his own studios. What is it? Oats?
Oats, yeah.
Yeah, Oats Studio, with his little story he seems to be doing there, which looks very District 9-y, as per most of his work.
It does.
And there's also kind of hints and rumors about him working on District 10, the next District 9 sequel.
Which would be a welcome surprise if that ever happens, so.
Yeah.
All right. Sad, but moving on.
Yep.
The Spider-Man spin-off, the Black Cat and Silver Sable movie may be setting up. I think they're missing a word here. They're trying. It sounds like they're trying to incorporate Kraven and Norman Osborn into their universe.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be part of the Sony Spider-Man cinematic universe that doesn't have Spider-Man. It's going to be Venom, Black Cat, Silver Sable, fucking Kraven, fucking Norman Osborn. Yeah. The character that they're all opponents of, not there. Not there. How? Like, look, it was one thing to have the Venom movie without Spider-Man, but like, how is this going to work?
We're calling this the Sony Spider-Man universe, but they don't have Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it's not the Spider-Man universe. I guess it's going to be the Venom verse. But
I guess.
Yeah, which is weird and yay for you. But
not yay for me. This is not what I want, though.
No, I know. But that's the thing, is that all these characters, like, if they're used here, they can't be used in Spider-Man. So Black Cat, Silver Sable, the Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, fucking Kraven, like, all of these characters can't be used to fight Spider-Man later. And all of his villains, which most of owned by Sony, like, he can never ever go up against.
Yeah, at least not in this iteration of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
the MCU canon Spider-Man.
He can only fight Dr. Octopus. Well, they don't have the Green Goblin, so...
No. Shocker. Probably Scorpion.
Scorpion, Lizard. Raven, Lizard, and Rhino.
Okay, so parts of the Sinister Six, more like the Sinister Four. It's just so weird that they're doing this, because we talked about this a little while ago when we were talking about the whole Sony Marvel contract thing. Like, it was kind of up in the air. Like, we might keep going with Disney and Marvel, we might not. Like, we don't know. It's not technically renewed yet.
Mm-hmm.
But if everything goes well with Homecoming, like, it seems like, why wouldn't Marvel renew Spider-Man, who's like a huge character?
Mm-hmm. So
that would just mean, so Spider-Man's going to be out of this other side of the universe for as long as they want. Like, it's just so weird. Like, what is the Green Goblin without Spider-Man? What are we going to see him do? He's going to kill Gwen Stacy off, and it's just...
Oh. No one's going to stop him. The whole movie is just him grabbing her and then just dropping her off the side of a building.
Shoes! He drops the bus of kids and Gwen Stacy.
They both hit the ground.
Yeah, they both hit the ground.
And the police are just standing there, and he's like, "No one stops me. Why can't anyone ever stop me?
I'm invincible. There's no Spider-Man in this world." Like, yeah, it's just fucked. Like, I don't understand what they're gonna do.
It could be like a whole Mastermind, is that it? The CG animated movie that was Steve Carell and
Will Ferrell,
Will Ferrell. Megamind, that's it. Where he's just gonna like have a moral conundrum where like he can do all the evil he wants, and he's like, "This isn't fun anymore."
Yeah, like. I mean, you can make a Black Cat movie. Black Cat's a thief and a crime lord and all this stuff. You could technically make it,
She would be awesome fighting Kingpin, but no Kingpin.
No.
Yeah, like all of the great pairings and back and forth, like within the Marvel Spider-Man universe, they all are so splintered now that they can't interact. So I'm excited to see these characters in action. So I'm just like, it's great to know that I'm going to actually see them because, like, we've been sitting back going, make Kraven so many times, like the villain in Spider-Man, and they aren't. But we get to have them.
What does Kraven's biggest story is him hunting Spider-Man? What is he gonna hunt?
Venom.
The Black Cat?
I
guess.
I don't know.
It's just.
It could
it's
also.
So weird.
It could just be weird. It could be a complete departure, though. Like,
yeah, I guess.
Just like Kraven's not even a bad guy.
He's a businessman who, like, kind of likes the jungle. Like, he vacations in the tropics.
Or he's just, like, a really, like, mediocre level bad guy. Like, he's not a supervillain. He's just, like, a poacher. Like, one of those assholes who takes pictures of himself with, like,
he's like Eric Trump Jr. Like, he paid someone to, like, take him out so he could cut off the tail of an elephant.
Yeah. And he's just in there and everyone's just, like, booing him, and that's the whole movie.
Yeah. It's about Donald Trump Jr. Yeah. Good shit. Anyway, so weird. Yeah, but maybe you're right. Maybe, in an ideal world for me, they nail the Venom movie and it's great, and then this is a Venom-verse, and Venom is the replacement Spider-Man.
Which could work. I could totally see that working if they do Venom right.
Do you think could they do this like within the rights of like could they all of a sudden introduce Miles Morales Spider-Man into this universe, the R-rated one?
I think.
Or is it still technically quote unquote Spider-Man, so they couldn't do it? You know.
Well, he's part of the Spider-Man brand.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right?
I'm thinking
like
it's like
Miles Morales is Spider-Man. He doesn't have another name.
They would have to call him something else and just give him the same powers and the Miles Morales look and everything, and just give him a different name, and he wouldn't be Spider-Man. He'd just be Spider-Boy.
Great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the Adventures of Spider-Boy in 2019. All right, next up. The producer says The Conjuring 3 will be a very different film. Quote, there are some cases that maybe aren't as well known, but the Warrens spent a fair bit of time researching and were a part of them. Clearly we can't do another haunted house movie, right? We can't do another supernatural possession in a house with a family in peril, right? So it's got to be something different than that, I think.
It's like this guy's asking us the question. He's just like, I can't do that, right?
Yeah, I can.
Can I do this? No, right?
Can I take the formula from the first two and just make a third one?
I think.
Can I?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Sort of. He's asking our permission, so everyone should write this guy and just be like, give him his answers. No, you cannot do this again. Yes, you can do that again. You're right. You do think that.
If James Wan was in charge of it, I would just say, do another supernatural house possession. I don't care.
Yeah.
But if it's not, if James Wan isn't, maybe, going a different direction with I mean, the Warrens covered how many fucking cases over their career. Yeah. Like, I don't know. They were scam artists, like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't do they hunt any werewolves? Maybe we get a fucking Conjuring werewolf film. That'd be great.
I don't know. I'm a little bit hesitant on the idea that I'm getting another Conjuring film without James Wan on it, because I don't think...
For sure, I would love if that was a series that either... It was just all James Wan directed, you know, like whether it's 7 films or 2, you know. Yeah. It would be nice if it was just constantly him.
Because like he generates a tone in his films. It's a very clear tone. It's also his passion for horror that's very clear, and we've talked about him and his passion for horror. Like he's even going back after he's gotten so successful. So it's just like Conjuring losing that tone, even though the last one was like only like 80-70% like James Wan scary, and then the last bit was like, all right, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, my problem with it was it just went on too long. I just stopped being scared. I was like, I'm done being scared now.
Yeah, but by the time where they kept going into the house, and then someone would get locked out, and then the other that person would get in, but that person would get out and then get locked out, and they just kept getting locked in. Like, just like fucking knock down one door and then leave it as an open door. Like, just there is no door. Take it off its hinges so no ghost can close it. Like, just because I'm tired of watching you guys get locked
out. But yeah, I mean, this could be potentially interesting. Could be the part where the series finally turns into a generic horror franchise and sucks now, you know?
It could be.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
That's fine, but I mean, that's the thing. Like, James Wan goes off and makes a new movie.
Yeah, he'll make a new one eventually. Something,
and it's going to be just as scary, so...
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about it.
No.
Next up, speaking of horror, Blair Witch's Adam Wingard will direct Godzilla vs. Kong. Godzilla vs. Kong is going to be the sequel to next year's Godzilla King of All Monsters movie. And it's going to be where finally Kong and Godzilla fight, as the fucking title implies. And Adam Wingard is the guy who not only did Blair Witch, but he's doing the upcoming Death Note Netflix movie.
Yeah. This is cool. I mean, it seems kind of strange. It's like appropriate, but also odd.
I think it's weird. I was talking with you about it before the podcast, and it's neat because I just feel like they're picking indie horror directors, because for Godzilla King of Monsters, they're picking the guy who did Krampus and Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
He directed both those, which are like not giant horror monster movies. You know? Like they're not
but
small
I feel
scale.
like that would fit into the camp side, right? Like you're gonna have Godzilla King of Monsters, and then you're just gonna have him like rampage around and kind of maybe make it specific rim or specific
the
rim.
Specificest rim.
Yeah.
The most specific rim.
A really good edge. Now I'm gonna go more dirty, but I'm not. I'm actually going to leave it alone now because it's a perfect joke.
You can leave it alone.
Yeah. But I can totally see like the Pacific Rim, like kind of comedy, not comedy, but like tongue-in-cheek kind of fun movie, right? And take the guy who's on Krampus and like do that. That works. And this is not quite that same context, but it fits. And it does seem like a trend now. It's like James Wan, and there's a few others who were not acclaimed horror directors, but they did good horror movies, and they start getting picked out. That's been an old trope in films.
Sinister, the guy who did Sinister directed Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And that was like his only really big film. Like, and it was like made on a budget of $5 million, I think.
Looper was, I think, something like that too, wasn't it? Or was that was his?
I think that was his big one, wasn't it?
was a big one. Anyways, but it seems to be it's an old thing. Like horror movies are where actors and directors and writers get to prove themselves.
Yep.
And then you get brought on because horrors are cheap, horrors are easy to do, they're easy to cast, and they're quick to make. Right.
Yep.
So like it's a great place to try everyone out, and if you do good in that, they can pull you out and put you into something else. But it feels like that trend is hot again.
Yeah, really hot. Like I've noticed like you said, a lot in the last couple of years, just it happening more and more. And you're like, oh, weird pick, but like it's just their directorial skills were so good on like a low budget, but they made something that was like great for the genre. Yeah. It sucks for me as a big horror fan because I'm like, oh, you're picking all the good ones away, and they're just gonna keep getting bigger and better movies and not gonna come back to me.
But that just says like the pool is limited. There'll never be another good director who pops up and makes a random good horror film.
No, I mean there definitely will be. But anyways. Godzilla vs. Kong, probably going to be a lot of fun. I like Adam Wingard a lot. I'm hoping his Death Note thing turns out at least decent at this point.
You were tweeting at him a lot recently, weren't you?
I said congratulations on getting the thing. Godzilla versus...
I thought there was I just wanted someone else. I thought you had like a whole conversation. No? Okay. No, anyways, maybe.
I don't know. You know my Twitter better than I do. Animaniacs reboot being developed by Steven Spielberg, Amblin TV, and Warner Brothers.
The old team.
Hey, that's basically the entire story.
But it's great for everyone who remembers Animaniacs, and for those of you who don't, go watch it now and
classic cartoon. If they were rebooting it without Steven Spielberg, I think I'd be a little more like, okay, you're whatever. Right. But Animaniacs, Steven Spielberg, fucking great. Oh my god, one of the like essential all-time cartoons.
And the voice actors have got to be the same, right? They're still around.
Oh yeah, Rob Paulsen. Yeah. Rob Paulsen did Yakko. I think he did Wacko.
There's a girl who does one of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the girl is.
The Dot, obviously, but I think he did. No, I think he did. I thought it was one. No, you're right. One guy did two, and then there was no. It was,
but there were a lot of.
There were 3 people.
Oh, was it?
It was 3 people.
Oh, interesting.
I listened to a podcast that was actually them talking about doing the whole, Panama.
Oh yeah.
Peru, whatever that whole.
Yakko's 50 songs about the fucking
world.
states or worlds or whatever.
But yeah, I think it's 3 people. I could be wrong, but. Their voices, like if it was they got someone else to come in and try and do like it's like someone doing Donald Duck and you're just like haha, that's a Donald Duck impression.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this one actually. This would be cool. It'd be neat to see what a new generation of Animaniacs looks like. You know, if they bring back all their old characters like Slappy the Squirrel and the Hello Nurse and those fucking hippos who are in love.
The Doctor is my favorite.
Oh, yeah. What was his name?
I don't remember.
Professor, like, EGAD or something? I don't remember. Pinky and the Brain, obviously, are
Pinky and the Brain.
From that, too. They have a little spin-off series. I assume they'll have to be back, right?
My favorite Animaniacs song was the Don't Know What to Say, the Monkeys Won't Do. Don't remember that one?
No, I don't remember that one.
I loved it. They were chasing the professor therapist guy around. Yeah. And he's singing that song going like, I don't know what to say, the monkeys won't do. And he goes through this whole song, but then at the end he's like, and the monkeys make me go cuckoo. Now I'm in the stew. And he's just sitting in a pot of stew. And then he's like, oh. And that's the end of the song. I was just like, I love this show.
I'm trying to think. But I really like those things where it was called, like, Good Idea, Bad Idea.
Oh,
and it was just, like, a little white stick figure man.
It had the most horrible life. You know, like, good idea, turning on a light.
Yeah.
Bad idea. It's like, what was it?
Getting electrocuted.
It's fucking, turning on a light that has no bulb. You know?
And, like, you'd get, like, 5 of those, like, in a row, and you'd be like, okay. I guess this is my life now. Next up, take this.
And he was always smiling the whole time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He always he almost looked like a skeleton man. Actually, I guess. Yeah, he always had this like bony smile.
Or wasn't there a guy who kept on like hiding under stuff like all the time? Like you find him underneath the rug and stuff. He was always really scary. There was a character like that.
I don't remember.
Oh, there's so many.
It's been a long time. Yeah, exactly. They just had such a wide swath of characters, not just the Animaniacs themselves.
No, they had a really great.
Like a lot of episodes were like they'd have one Animaniac story and then there'd be like 3 other ones about whoever Slappy the Squirrel. That little girl and her dog.
Yeah,
and the dog
would always save her. And a lot of animals and people and characters, just the characters in Animaniacs, were horribly abused. It was very dark if you thought about it. Like everyone's mentally handicapped in some fashion.
Sure, I mean I agree with you, but I think that goes back to even like as far as Looney Tunes. Like it was just violent. Think about everything the Roadrunner did to the coyote.
It's true.
Think about everything that dog did to the coyote.
They conveyed the emotional distress and disturbance and sadness that came across because like the guy who was like the like don't do and do it or good idea bad idea like he was tormented this whole time, and then the dog was always tired and exhausted chasing after the little girl he loves so much to try and prevent her from like falling and getting hurt.
Yeah, but she was like
and he's
unsupervised by her
he's always like injured and sad and like just tired and exhausted.
Yeah, fall off buildings
from these like completely drop dead or dead weight useless parents who let their child walk off cliffs while his dog tries to keep it alive.
Yeah, the dog was a better parent than the parents.
Well, anyways, great show. Excited to have it come back, and I can't even believe it's coming back. And it's one of those reboots where I'm like, yes, I would take that one.
Yeah, exactly. I would take that one.
Yep.
Next up, take this one with a big grain of salt, as it's from something called entertainorama.com. I don't recognize that website, but I would be remiss if I didn't fucking talk about this.
Yep.
Rumor is, new Beast Wars TV show coming to Netflix, and it might be a reboot. I mean, what the fuck else would it be? It's not going to be like a fucking sequel or prequel. Nothing happened before they landed there.
No, but even like at the end when they finally went to the full Beast Wars thing at the end, when they're all like techno-organic and shit, like that was it.
Yeah, Transmetals.
Yeah.
Or no, the other one.
Techno-organic.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, actually, we went on about Beast Wars for like 20 minutes in like 3 episodes ago, so I don't want to go back into it again. But it was a really cool series. It was like one of the first CG animated like TV shows, which at the time was like fucking super impressive. You're like, oh my god! Look, going back now, you're like, this is stiffly animated
awful.
And poor as fuck. But like, it's great.
And it just took like a bump map and then just took Earth textures on it, and we're like an alien planet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're like PS bumps. Yeah, right. Just green.
Yeah, it's just green
maps.
maps.
The thing that always surprised me was the fact that like I always loved Beast Wars more than actual Transformers. Because I like animals more than vehicles, personally. Yes.
I didn't get the
And I always thought, I was like, oh, it'll come back at some point. Animals are more popular. But they never did, so like, this would be the perfect opportunity.
Plus, there's way more. Like, we've only designed so many cars, but there's like an infinite phylum of different animals.
Yeah, exactly.
And things with crazy fucking shit that
even in Beast Wars, they had 2 different types of spiders.
Yeah.
They didn't even try.
No. Like, imagine coming back with like being the mantis shrimp like transformer. You just win.
Yes.
You punch faster than light.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you can do so many cool animals now. And not just do shit where you're like...
Or you create light when you punch, sorry, but whatever.
And don't introduce a new character who's really fucking cool, and then he just stays in the winter forever.
What?
The White Tiger.
Oh, he was cool.
They introduce him, and you're like, this guy's a badass. And
he's like, I don't live with you.
Yeah, I'm just going to stay up here. Why? Poor excuse? Oh, good, okay.
I'll just show up periodically.
Yeah, he did. He just very periodically. I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
But new Beast Wars, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's get into the gaming segment. We're laughing already because...
this is sad.
I'll throw it up on the screen, but this is fucking... Nintendo has released how they want you to communicate with other players in Splatoon 2 and in general over their online service. Mm-hmm. Which, if you don't know, is not going to be on the system itself. They're making an app that you can download on your smartphone to go into a Skype, I guess, like a Skype type scenario where you talk to someone. And it's very complicated. Well, I don't want to say it's very complicated. It's not like it's that much to wrap your head around. But it's it's obtuse.
There's no way in any... Okay, so we're going into a world of cordless things. I actually currently have on my wireless Bluetooth headset, right, with no cords hooked up to my phone. And the only thing my phone ever hooks up to is a single cord to my computer to charge or update shit. And that's it. But this thing is cord to... out of switch to dongle... like, I guess, hub to phone out of that thing into headset. Which you have to... This is all mobile. Like, this isn't like you're supposed to be at home.
Yeah, it'd be even worse mobile. Like, you need to have your fucking phone dangling on the side of your, like, pants as you're, like, trying to, like...
And then, like, the 2 cords going into that thing that looks like a little squid thing from Mario, and then, like, that coming out into your head. Like, you look like a monstrosity.
Yeah, but I mean, even at home, this isn't ideal. I wouldn't want to do this at home either, really.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's way too clunky. There's way too much stuff you have to hook up.
Yeah.
It's simple to do, like on PS4 and Xbox, like, you just go, you connect to a party chat, and you just, with your friends, and you're playing online. That's it. They made it very user-friendly.
And then for headset-wise, they're like, okay, so we'll give you a headset you can hook into your wireless remote, right? And then you can use that, which is a piece of shit. But if you want to, you can buy a more fancy headset where you just stick a little USB receiver into your machine, and then that goes to your headset, right? Even my Bluetooth headset that I use for my phone and stuff has no receiver. It just needs to turn on the Bluetooth and sync it, right? That's not 100% reliable and great. The USB is way more reliable. But that's the thing. Like, it could have just been like, take your Switch, stick this USB stick in it, and it makes your headset work.
Yeah, like, there could have been... Fuck. And, like, someone else says, remember all the talk by Reggie of avoiding clunky gamer headsets on Switch? Well, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is, I don't know what they're thinking with this. This is just very Nintendo. You know, like Nintendo is being very successful with the Switch right now. They have a great launch. Looks like they're going to have a good library of games by the end of the year. And then they just do the most Nintendo-ass thing in the world.
The peripheral.
And make this the peripheral that's like the worst way that you would ever want to get online.
Yeah. It's like all other stuff. They're like, here, we're going to make VR 30 years before it's accessible. It's also a laser that writes it into your cornea.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, so Nintendo can't always be all the way successful. They always have to hinder themselves in some way. And this is just, like, people are just going to fucking open up Skype or Discord or wherever, you know, and talk on that instead. That's just, it's way easier. Yep. You're not going to be doing this. I
mean, there should be replacements of systems to be in the actual console. Like, I agree with that 100%. Like, I don't want to be on a separate system talk on PlayStation. I want to be able to use PlayStation service to do that. But that works currently.
Yeah.
Don't need to break what's broken. Like maybe make it a little bit more smooth.
Nintendo's always been very like finicky about online, like the friend codes and stuff. They've been like 9 million like letters long and shit. Because they're always worried about like getting bad press about like pedophiles or adults talking to children or whatever the hell. Maybe they're doing this because they're like, all right, no one's gonna want to do this, so we'll still don't have to worry about it. Yeah. Oh, whatever. Okay.
That bullet.
Okay, so again, another rumor coming up. I take this one with a huge grain of salt. Everyone involved in this rumor seems very like shaky about it, but it is making the rounds. The rumor is no Bloodborne 2 at E3 2017, which seems to be everyone's number one want at this point. But From Software might be bringing a new game / IP called Phantom Whale, and they're supposedly the brief information on it is it's ancient Aztec, Mayan, tribal aesthetic, emphasis on hand-to-hand combat techniques and martial arts styles. Traditional melee weapons are still in, but they won't have a major focus. Instead, players will customize and personalize their hand-to-hand movesets and fighting styles. There's customization for weapon fighting styles as well. Is the Souls-like dark fantasy similar game Miyazaki mentioned when interviewed from the future? Oh, about the future on From Software. Armored Core and a Strange game from Software were the other two mentioned. And a collaboration between Sony Japan and From Software. It's a Sony exclusive title. That's it.
Why would they need? I don't like if they have. Is From Software also Dark Souls?
Yes.
Yeah. So they've done Dark Souls, which is your Souls-like game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they did
Bloodborne,
which is a Souls-like game.
Yeah.
And should they make another one?
So they did say in an interview they had another Souls-like game coming, not Dark Souls or Bloodborne, but they have something like that coming. And then they said they had Armored Core and then something else, something weird.
Maybe something weird instead. I don't know. It's just like they've had so many Souls-like game releases, and I get everyone's hooked on those and wants more Souls-like games. But like, something else from the studio, because if you're the guy who only makes Mario, like, you know, Nintendo wouldn't have survived on just Mario.
Yeah, but I mean, this is one developer, not an entire company as well, right?
No, I was just giving an example of like it could be a developer. Fine, any developer. If I make just Tomb Raider, I'm not going to be amazing.
No, I mean, I see what you're saying, but like, people are still fucking clamoring for these games. You know, people want Dark Souls 4. People want all this shit. So
well, you're not getting any more Dark Souls.
No, your Dark Souls is done. So this sounds cool though. In the ancient Aztec hand-to-hand combat, I'd be down to see it. I might not play this one either because it's probably too hard.
Or the other one. What's the one that's coming out or not coming out? They have slated for 2017. That's the girl in her own head.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Hellblade.
Yeah, Hellblade, Setsuna's Sacrifice, Setsuna's Sacrifice, something like that.
It's supposed to be set for 2017.
Yeah, it's still supposed to be this year.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Next up, Final Fantasy VII Remake shifts to internal developer under Mobius project leader.
So, just to cover, for those who didn't listen last week, what's been happening with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I got a lot more information actually right after that podcast. The Square-Enix had outsourced Final Fantasy Remake to another studio, not like the whole project, but majority of it, to the guys who do the Shippuden...
CyberConnect, the guys who do Naruto Shippuden
Ninja Storm
games.
And they've been working on it for however long they've been working on it. At least a couple of years.
Yeah, who knows?
And then they basically were looking at that game and were like, no!
Well, here. Okay, this is what the story is. So far, development for Final Fantasy VII Remake has been carried out mainly with the support of external partners. However, in view of factors such as improving quality when the product goes into mass production in the future, the company has decided to shift the developmental system back to within the company. so as to maintain a stable schedule and have control over factors such as quality. We'll be forming a robust system within the company to properly carry out development.
So
it seems like they're just fucking straight up slicing their deal with CyberConnect. Yeah. They're like, bring it back.
Yeah. They're not happy. They said quality twice in that quote.
Yeah, this is pretty damning. Like, a control factors such as quality. Like, that's not nice.
No. Like, they looked, whatever they saw, they were extremely upset with. I mean, Square is a high quality studio and they've always churned out quality most of the time. But you know, like, this is that's shocking. Like, that's a big deal to go and be like, all right, we're going to take this away from you,
especially after
your quality sucks.
Let's say a year and a half of them developing it, assumably. Yeah. You know, something. I
don't think it's going to be trashed. I think they're going to literally take the entire project and the code and everything and all of his information, move it over, and then just fix it. Basically. Rejigger it, because as per our next story, they brought someone on board that's going to be very much inside of the right genre, and you know, like, they're not just going to start from zero. I think they liked the idea they had. I just think probably the execution isn't working out great.
My wonder was if the open world segment of the game wasn't up to snuff.
And I would totally agree with that,
because that developer basically just makes battle arenas. Yeah. It's just a big wide open battle arena, and you fight, and the fighting's really good.
And that's probably what Final Fantasy VII Remake currently sits at with them, is that it's just jumping from battle arena to battle arena, right? You see your giant scorpion robot, you fight there. Cinematic happens, then you're in another arena where you fight Shinra guards. Cinematic happens, you go to another arena, something happens. And that's probably what it is. And they're just like, no, we need to have things to walk through. And they're like, okay, a hall, and they just give someone
they give us straight corridors.
Yeah, just giving straight corridors, and they don't understand the complexity. And there is only those who have done it long enough understand what to do in those transitional periods in between, right? Like, I mean, Final Fantasy 13 is an example of the failure of that, even from Square-Enix, where they just made it a hall and there was nothing to explore in between. But the second you have a game where you've got experienced guys like that in an RPG, where they're like, oh, okay, you're going to go from here to here, but from here to here, you're going to stop 40 times because you're like, look at that! You know, that's a good RPG. Mm. And I think that they understand that with Final Fantasy VII, it better be the exact same experience that we got doing that in the first one.
What they want to deliver probably is like what we remember Final Fantasy VII being in our heads. You know what I mean? Like, as a kid.
Yeah.
Which is a tough thing to live up to. Which is, they probably are worried about it. So yeah, it's almost not surprising they did this. But this also is probably slicing any chance we're going to see it at E3. And it's under this guy who developed Final Fantasy Mobius Final Fantasy, whatever the fuck it's called. I watched about 30 seconds of that gameplay. Didn't look great, but like, whatever.
No, but it's a slashing, like, you know, it seems like it fits. Like, if you take Final Fantasy VII and the fact that it's not a turn-based RPG that's just got 4 characters standing there that cast fire and attack, right? These two genres seem to split together, and I think they're like, you're the guy who's worked on a game that's more similar to this than most others who have been working on different styles.
Sure, but like, they're probably going to keep the combat from CyberConnect, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing I don't understand, you know? Mm.
But it's even trimming the fat and putting in components that they like, right? Taking out the thing about starting fights with a grenade. I never remembered Cloud throwing a lot of grenades. You know, how do you introduce a grenade?
You had an item that was a grenade in the game, though. You could have your item.
You could have the item of
and
grenade.
You could throw a grenade, yeah.
Yes. But Cloud wasn't running around throwing grenades.
Right. Yeah, that hasn't been any key art.
No. Cloud throwing a grenade, and they're like, well, how is he going to
cover, yeah.
Like, how is he going to initiate battle? Oh, he'll throw a grenade. When did he do that? Never. Well, why would he throw a grenade? I don't know. Well, he could just throw, like, a piece of materia.
He should just be making Link noises, basically, running up with his sword. Like, just constantly. Just fucking doing the Omni Slash.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
I don't know. We'll see how this game turns out. It's just, you know... you know what I gotta say, though, actually, is... In the realm of, like, you're taking the movie context where you have the reshoots and you panic, but then there's the times where they took a movie back and they do the reshoots and you love it. I like Rogue Squadron or whatever it was. Like, I think this is a better sign, saying Square-Enix was looking at this going, yo, take it back.
Yeah, I think them saying no is
before you go too far along, let's take this back and, you know, like, fix this.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it doesn't turn into another Final Fantasy 15. And not in the way that game turned out, just the development history of it.
Oh, the development history, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm expecting to definitely see Kingdom Hearts 3 at E3, so...
That's how we spin this positively. And the last little bit of news, still Square Enix based, is Square Enix and People Can Fly of Bulletstorm fame announce a partnership for a AAA console and PC title. If you don't know, Bulletstorm was a first-person shooter where you comboed enemies around with a whip and your fucking foot, and you left them in the air hanging.
And bad dialogue.
And dialogue that was just infamous for, being like, "Oh, you dick-shitting nipple fart," and then, just people, like, it was literally just insults like that coming out of every character's mouth at each other. And it was very, like, I think they were trying to be like...
if they had, like, the old Mac, when you use a type-to-talk guy, like an AI like that, and just having it auto-generate, like, swear words in random order.
It literally was like that, though. Like, you're not even far off. It was so fucking weird.
And it would just cut in, you'd be like, alright, we gotta save him, you dick-eating nipple fart.
And I think that they thought it was, like, over the top in a way where it was, like, endearing, but it was kind of just tiresome, because it was never actually that funny.
Yeah.
But they're an interesting choice. They're clearly talented guys. Bulletstorm was a fun game to play. It didn't sell a lot, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do together.
And I'm hopeful. I think this is probably going to be a fresh IP, not another one. And Square Enix hasn't made a fresh IP except for their, like, I Am Setsunas and their little, what is that called, the project?
Tokyo
Japan?
Tokyo RPG Company?
That's a Tokyo, something like that. But other than that section of Square Enix, they don't make new projects anymore. They don't have any new IPs. Really, at the end of the day, it's just new Final Fantasies, new, continuations of their current stuff. I would like to see something new, and if these people can help them do that.
Yeah, and I mean, all the talk is just really, PR shit, where it's an exciting time. We've got a great experience and team in place, and it's incredible to be working with Square Enix, a world-class publisher who shares our passion and excitement for the project. It's just shit like that.
Oh, there's something interesting at the bottom there, though. People Can Fly is currently hiring gameplay programmers, AI programmers, and VFX artists to work on it, sorry. I mean,
don't you need all of these for any game?
Yeah, but you don't usually go through the hiring phase for that in the studio until after the initial conceptual work is done. So in the hiring cycle, usually it's conceptual artists, digital artists, designers, UX designers, etc. They all work on the conceptual design process of the game from the initial script and the idea for the game. Then once that's done, they go, okay, now we got to start building an engine. And they bring in the developers. Some studios have them in-house. People Can Fly is obviously smaller, so they didn't.
Well, I mean, you're probably right, because, like, it's weird that they would note that this AAA project would not be featured in Square Enix's E3 lineup, because, like, if you just announced that this is happening, I'd be like, yeah, of course it's not going to be there.
Yeah.
But you're right, if they're hiring already, then maybe the conceptual phase is over, and they're actually
getting down to work on it, which is interesting. It means it's not just like they're like, okay, we've got an idea.
I wonder if it was a project that People Can Fly was doing. They shopped it around, and Square Enix was like, "That looks good," and like picked it up.
Maybe could be. It could be either way.
Yeah.
I mean, I would almost tend to believe more that Square Enix has got ideas in the bank, and they need someone to work on it. Although that would be contrary to the whole thing that now Square Enix is like, we're going to start hiring people from outside and bring people into our studios and take our games back from the other studios and stuff like that, right? Like that seems to be their whole thing, is getting back into their own old roots. So maybe People Can Fly was the one who came to Square Enix and was like, please pay.
Let's make this.
We can make games.
All right, that's it for the news. Coming up after the break is going to be more Road to E3 predictions.
More predictions, more E3s, more rumors.
Yes, look forward to that.
God, you just left me hanging there. I think you did that intentionally.
I did.
Okay.
Very much did. Welcome back to the second segment of the Pens and Pixels podcast. It's the Road to E3!
It was interesting to watch your sound waves.
It was good. So, if you don't know, this segment is where Mike and myself go over just a bunch of random people on the internet, just their fucking hopes and predictions, and we crush them one by one, systematically.
With our system of Jade Cocoons.
Yes, and if you don't know, Jade Cocoon is an obscure PS1 Japanese role-playing game that at one point in time, a man, last E3 actually, was saying, I really hope we see another Jade Cocoon, and I was like, man, must suck to be you. Must suck to be a fan of Jade Cocoon. So, because that's never going to happen. Yeah. We're never going to see a Jade Cocoon reboot. We're never going to get Jade Cocoon 3.
No.
It's just never going to happen. So we rate things on a likelihood scale of 1 to 5 Jade Cocoons. 1 Jade Cocoon is like, probably not. Yeah. And zero Jade Cocoon is like, that will happen.
Or that is happening.
So. Yeah, 0 is that will happen. And then 5 is, that will never fucking happen. That's not happening in the history of life, you know?
The chance of you having 5 Jade Cocoons, never going to happen.
Exactly. So, yeah. So if we say 0, it means it's a possibility. A 1 is like, unlikely. And then it just goes back, from there.
Yeah.
So, without further ado,
Yep.
our first man has a lot of hopes and dreams. He's providing us with all our content for this segment. Seemingly.
We're just looking at this, like, salivating at the mouth. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to break that down.
Okay.
Make you sad.
And to be fair, he does say dreams and hopes. He's not making actual predictions, but let's do it.
Let's bash them.
Dreams. Death Stranding date.
The date.
Right now, I'm going to say that's a 4 Jade Cocoon proposition.
A date.
No, because that game's going to be at least 2019, and I cannot see them saying 2019 this far
And
off.
Hideo Kojima's enough to edge you, like, the whole time. Like, you're going to be like, oh, I'm about...
You think so?
Yeah.
Do you think they would actually have the balls to put up a date on there that's like October 2019 or?
No, that's what I mean, edging, like almost there.
Oh, so we wouldn't get anything.
Yeah,
I see.
like just like let go. Yeah.
Well, I feel like edging would actually be giving you the date.
It would be. I mean, I'm not gonna go 4. I'll do 3.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah. I think that's very fucking unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 5 full gameplay trailer.
Oh Jesus.
Oh,
that's a 5.
No, that's a 2. That's a 2 Jade Cocoon proposition.
A 5.
The actor, the motion capture actors are working together on a game, and that piece of shit keeps cock teasing everybody. Remember that? Because they're like, "What game are you working on?"
Yeah, but he's also been like really stupid.
Going,
Could it be
smoking? He keeps fucking replying with Devil May Cry shit.
Yeah, which he's just doing to get Twitter followers.
Totally could be. Absolutely. That's why I'm giving it 2 Jade Cocoons, which is impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm giving that 2 Jade Cocoon. I would personally love to see that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, Death Stranding date. We can just talk about that for a second. Like we would. I don't actually care right now because I think it's so far off. And
it's so abstract. We don't even know what it is.
I know. I would prefer to see what it is rather than a date. You know, but I don't think we're gonna get that either.
I think we'll get information.
I think we're gonna get another CG cutscene.
Oh yeah,
with someone,
yeah,
and I don't think I think we'll be even more confused about what the game might be.
It's gonna be more of the puzzle, and he's gonna be like, solve that.
Yeah, I cannot see us getting very much information on what the game is. Okami HD PC, done by Hexadrive with 4K support. I don't know what it is. That's Port Studio probably. Let's just say Okami HD.
I don't. Can you HD that? That was like grabby and pixelaty at the time.
Yeah, I mean you can remaster it for now.
I mean a remaster, not like HD. Like I would love to see that.
Yeah, that's what remaster is, right? Like they bring something old, and they remaster it for the new era.
No, I'm sorry, not a remaster. Then like
not a remake.
Like I would see like an update in the graphics, not like just a remake. Yeah, you're right. So
I was just thinking they'd just bring that fucking PS2 game over and it looks better on this console.
Yeah,
you know?
I could do that.
And I actually might only give this a 1 Jade Cocoon proposition because Capcom has been re-releasing old games. They just released that fucking weird Saturday afternoon collection. It was DuckTales and all these old games remastered.
Yeah.
So
even Nintendo's on that kick recently.
I think that's easy money for them. They could just be like, here it is.
Yeah,
the game already exists.
It's very possible. So 1 is totally agreeable.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a 1 Jade Cocoon. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it could. Yeah. Somebody rescues Shadow Hearts.
Oh my god, I love that game.
I never played Shadow Hearts. How was that?
It was a bad RPG that you loved. That's basically the best way to put it. It had an interesting combat system with the fate wheel, or like every time you attacked, it would come up with a fate wheel and it would spin. Like a clock hand basically spinning, and then it had 3 different triangles on it for difficulty, like really thick triangle, a really medium-sized triangle, and a small one. And if you hit the small one, obviously it was a bigger hit, a combo, I think. And then if you hit the big one, it was just not basic auto.
Was that
attack.
How you did damage?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So if you didn't hit that part correctly, if you fucked up the timing, you wouldn't do anything.
Ugh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
It was awful, but strangely addictive and fun.
I've heard some reverence for the Shadow Heart series over the years. Yeah.
It's never happened. It's a 5, but
I think that's a 5.
Yeah.
We may even have to rename this to Shadow Heart's rating scale. Like that's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck yeah. Ubi Art isn't dead.
Is it dying?
I just think they haven't released something in a while.
If you don't, we're working on something.
If you don't know, Ubi Art is the people who worked on the 2D Rayman games, the Child of Light.
Yeah.
Child of Light, cool, our little RPG there.
Ubi Art Initiative is still going.
Yeah, I just don't think they haven't actually. I'm gonna Google it really quick.
Yeah, I thought they were coming up with something new though. I really thought I heard news of a new Ubi Art thing. I can't remember what it is. I know for a fact. There's something else. Something coming. Yeah, I would give that like a 1 or a 2.
Yeah, I'll give that a 1.
Yeah.
I think Ubisoft could announce a new one. It seems like it's time.
If it's not on the main stage in any fashion, at the very least it's part of the indie stream, so.
Yeah, no, I can see Ubisoft giving, in some like montage or something, I'm going to give that a 1 Jade Cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
A good-looking Metroid game, 2D or 3D or both. Oh,
Not slated for this year and not at E3. So not for this E3, because they're not slating any new games coming up anytime soon, and I don't expect them to announce it.
I think we might finally get it.
Mm-mm.
I think we might finally get the announcement, because
I'll give it a 4.
Ooh, you're giving a 4 for this for this E3.
For
obviously.
this E3.
Yeah, that's not never gonna happen. Yeah.
No. This E3.
Oh man, I think I might only give it a 2, Jade Cocoon.
Getting your hopes up.
I really think that there's a possibility that Nintendo is listening to the fans and they are going to, because they're making they gave us an open world Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
People fucking love it. They're giving us a spiritual successor to fucking Mario 64 with Mario Odyssey. They might finally listen and be like, hey, here's Metroid Prime.
I mean, they're releasing all the old games in some streaming service through the Switch now.
Yeah, like...
It's possible. That's why I'm not saying it's an impossibility, but I don't expect to see it at this event.
I think we could. I'm only going to give that 2 Jade Cocoons. I think that's possible. Yeah. Mother 3.
5.
He even put, it's 5. He puts LOL in brackets. That's fine. I believe, that's 5.
That's a 5.
New software new From Software IP.
Didn't we just confirm they were doing something?
We didn't. That was a rumor. That was a shaky rumor we reported on. Oh god, yeah, I don't know. Bloodborne sold really well, and I could see Sony just being like, yeah, make another one of those. So it might be Bloodborne, but we know they have a new IP. And they're ready to show it probably. And yeah, you know what? Actually, I think that's probably...
Yeah, more likely. I'm going to say a 2. Maybe a 1.
I'm going to say either 0 or a 1. I think we're probably going to see something from Software.
Yeah, we're going to see something, and I think it's going to be another 1.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1. I'm going to go 1. I think it's unlikely, but possible. Sony hopes. Death Stranding stage demo and or gameplay trailer. Probably not. No, that's the Ford.
Well, a stage demo, like a live demo of the game?
Yeah.
No, fuck no. Possible of a gameplay trailer? I could see it.
I still don't see it.
I mean, like, isn't so 3?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a 3. Yeah. I want to say 4, but I'll give it a 3.
A 3.
He's repeating a lot of these. Devil May Cry 5 announced.
5.
Still 2. Spider-Man before the end of March 2018.
That's a bit necessary. What? That's a bit.
No, I think Spider-Man is going to be a fall next year game. I think it's going to be.
Oh, you think it's further away?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
I think Spider-Man's further away.
Why? What gives you that?
We haven't seen a lot of it at all. They don't talk about it much, and it just seemed earlier to me than the other stuff.
Okay.
And if you say you're Sony, right? Let's say God of War is going to be released March of next year.
Yeah.
They don't want to crowd the space too much. Probably be after that, I would imagine. What's the other option? Fall this year?
I was thinking, like the.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking, what happened with this year, where we had the really heavy loaded February to March period. I'm thinking.
Oh, so you're saying they still might do it? They might do God of War and this?
Yeah, because that heavy loaded front year has done a lot for the business. So.
Sure, but like those were any of those from the same company? I don't think so. Yeah, that's the thing. These are both going to be Sony's going to be getting the profits right here. They don't want to eat their own profit, you know.
Or no, wait, Mass Effect is no, and then no. Sorry, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think that's the thing. I think it was just a crowded Q1.
Or was Horizon Sony?
Yeah, it was Sony.
Yeah, and Mass Effect is just an EA thing. It's not a Sony thing. Yeah. Okay.
Nier Automata, Square-Enix.
Yeah. You know. So okay. Yeah. No. You're right.
Yeah. Neo is fucking Ninja.
Yeah, you're right.
Studio.
You're right.
Yeah. So I'm thinking Spider-Man's probably not March 2018. I think it's probably fall next year.
Yeah.
Sucker Punch's new title. I think we got to see it this year.
Yeah,
I thought we were for sure going to see it last year.
But there's way more signals saying it's this year for sure, and everyone's expecting it. I think it's going to happen.
It's like the only studio we don't know what they're doing, right? Yeah. So that's
I'm giving that a 1 or a 0.
That's a 0. That's a 0. Jade Cocoon.
Yeah, it's a 0. Like I highly expect them. Like almost confirmed that they're going to do that.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if we get through another E3 without seeing what they're doing.
Yeah,
because then it would have been like 4 or 5 years without since the launch of PS4, right? Mm-hmm. Square Enix hopes. Some of this might be in Sony's conference too. Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer.
I'm definitely with the state of Final Fantasy VII, and I know that Square Enix is going to be there with something, and they're not just going to walk up with more Dragon Quest. Like they're going to come with something to impress us. Kingdom Hearts 3 is the only thing that's devved far enough to make any sense.
Yeah, we'll get a trailer.
Yeah, we're gonna get a trailer. So definitely something Kingdom Hearts
for
sure is a 0. Like, it's going to happen.
I feel much more confident saying that now. Because I think even last week we were like, oh, is it gonna be more Final Fantasy VII remakes? Is it gonna be more Kingdom Hearts? We don't know. And you were leaning towards Kingdom Hearts, and now with all this fucking Final Fantasy remake news, it's like, yeah, we're not gonna see that for a while.
I only lean more towards Kingdom Hearts because with the last 2.5 release or whatever that latest 2.5 Dream Drop
2.8,
something,
yeah,
fucking whatever. They had that demo that was on the Kingdom Hearts 3 engine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if they're doing that kind of shit,
it's
that's demo
be,
shit.
Right,
like, it's got to be there, and they're going to be like, hey, it's coming out some period.
Do you think it gets a release date?
I don't think they're going to tell us, but not a November something. It's going to be a spring 2018. Or,
some vague thing. Yeah, sure. I can see that. I'm going to give that 0. I'm going to 0 Jade Cocoon.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest XI Western release, Q1 2018.
Sure.
0, 1. I don't know. I don't know anything about Dragon Quest.
No, but I mean, like, that sounds like something that will happen. So it's like, yeah, okay.
Square-Enix Marvel games, Avengers and Guardians. They said that we're not going to see them. So unless they're trying to bamboozle us, no. I don't think they are.
No, but they were so clear. They're like, here's our trailer at the end with like big bold letters. Not happening anytime soon.
Yeah, like you're not seeing this year. No. Expect more news next year.
So
I think
5.
they said. Yeah, there's 5 Jade Cocoons. Unfortunately, but it has to be. Nier Remaster.
What?
Sure, maybe.
The first one?
The first one, yeah.
Oh,
that was on like PS3. So, yeah, I could see that.
Maybe.
This one did well enough. I think this one actually did well enough. Maybe that they would actually be like, oh, maybe we can get a whole bunch of those new fans who played this one to play the old one.
I'll give it a 2.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 1. Dragon Quest Builders 2 revealed. I hold no interest in this, but I'm going to give it a 5 to fuck with you.
And I'll go with 5 just to fuck with you more.
Some people did like the first one, but weird. Random Hope. Grand Blue Fantasy Project Relink trailer or new footage in Sony conference montage. I don't know what that is.
That's abstract as fuck. And it is random as fuck. Not at E3. They'll probably do that like Tokyo. What was a Tokyo game show?
Yeah, that sounds like
that's a Tokyo game show thing. So no, it's a 5 for E3.
Sure, I agree. Other hopes: Cyberpunk 2077 Blowout.
I'm so curious to find out if this is going to happen.
Not yet. I think next year. I think another year of working on it.
Well, didn't they just say they went back?
Yeah, remember they said they scrapped a bunch of development?
Yeah.
And then I don't think they restarted completely, but I think they or at some point in the development cycle, they'd scrapped a bunch, and then they started working in.
Oh yeah, and that was that weird timing where I thought maybe it'd be 2 years because I can't say it was like just everything up to this year, which seems a bit drastic. I don't know.
Like Witcher 3 still seems so fresh. Like that's the thing too.
I know, but since I had the team working on it all this time, and they have done this kind of like revamped scrap, and they have been talking about it so much in the last year, I kind of expect to see something.
But everything they've been saying is like, it's still a ways off.
Yeah, but
I could see a trailer, but not a blowout.
Yeah.
Like a blowout to me is like gameplay trailer, fucking.
Oh, I can see. No. I see a trailer,
yeah.
or another vid sequence that's got nothing to do with gameplay.
Sure, yeah, like a CG trailer. I could see that.
I could totally see that, and I'll give that context like a 2, maybe a 3.
I'll go to 2.
Yeah,
because I think we could see something, but I think it's very unlikely. Yeah. Good showing for new BioWare IP.
It's too soon, isn't it?
No, I think they're for sure showing it.
Oh no, you're right. I
Yeah.
remember the announcements. You're right. Yeah, no, that's a 0. I remember.
I think he's just hoping for a good showing of it.
Oh, like not just like a title screen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he wants to have a good reception because it is a Destiny competitor. It sounds like, right?
Well, I think they're gonna win because Destiny's like not doing good new things.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm gonna
say when these imitators pop up, I don't say imitators because it's fucking BioWare, but when like Overwatch was out there, right? Yeah. Overwatch was like king, and then something like fucking Battleborn comes out, and you're like, oh, and just dies slowly. And then Paragon comes out, and it kind of, and then Battleborn died immediately.
Yeah,
he came out of the womb, shot in the head. They're like, the vampire. Fuck. And then Paragon came out, and it's like the exact same thing as Overwatch, and then it just kind of. It sank to like the mid ground, and there's some players, but it's never gonna reach Overwatch status. No. Like it. Destiny already has such a base, even though it's a bunch of people like us that like hate it but love it. Like I wonder if this will this doesn't blow our socks off, if it's just gonna be like, meh.
Oh, if it doesn't blow our socks off, that's the big thing, right? Because we're all looking for something to replace Destiny because it doesn't fulfill all the needs we wanted from that type of game, this first-person shooter, RPG, sci-fi, fantasy, right?
Yeah.
In comparison to Overwatch, which came out and was like, we did it perfect on the first try. And you're like, great, everything else is unnecessary.
Yep.
All forms of online competitive games are just unnecessary until I'm finished playing Overwatch for the next 4 years. But in Destiny realm, we're left with the I want this to be done right. So, like,
good point.
You know, I think that it could definitely. We're looking for that. I mean, look at what happened with the fucking failed Ubisoft one. You know, like they came out, everyone was super excited, jumped on board. Even the Destiny streamers were suddenly streaming it instead, and then we're suddenly like, "Wow, this is shit." And then
died quick.
Yeah, it died quick, and then everyone went back to Destiny. If this is the true replacement for it, and I don't know if BioWare can pull this off. You know, well, hopefully, but yeah, I hope for a good showing.
I do too. What do you give the chances? What on a Jade Cocoon scale? What are the chances of having a good showing?
Of a good showing?
Yeah, I'm only going to say a 1. I'm going to go to 1 Jade Cocoon.
I have less faith in them right now, so 2.
Okay, all right.
Only just because of what they've done with Andromeda and their weird restructuring and shrinking of studios and weird placement of shit. Anyways. Sure. But yeah, no.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
All right. Nintendo hopes Xenoblade 2 before the end of March 2018.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been following that game.
No, they had some stuff up.
They did, yeah. I think at the reveal they even had like a trailer for it, right? Yeah. So yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, I can see that.
It's like a 0 or 1.
Yeah, so. That's like a good, like, I don't want to say filler game, but like, you know, it's a good other game to have on the Switch for Switch fans.
Totally.
I'll give that a 1 Jade Cocoon, sure. Mario Odyssey really makes it before the end of 2017. Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna give that 3 Jade Cocoon. I bet it's delayed to early 2018, quarter 1 2018.
I'll do 2, just because I feel like their pressure is on Nintendo to release a full brand new like title for this thing, rather than their constant like, hey, have all the games you've already played on.
Actually, no, you know what though? I think you know what? Yeah, no. Last year at E3, their whole booth was fucking Zelda, right? Yeah. They were like, we just brought Zelda. Like, that was it. I think this year they're doing something similar with Mario. They're like, we're going to show you a lot of fucking Mario. Yeah. So maybe they do. Maybe they're confident that it's going to release this year and they want to have a huge blowout for it. So, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go with 1 or 2 Jade Cocoons for that. Yeah, okay. Pikmin 4 reveal.
No.
3 Jade Cocoons. Yeah, I don't see it happening.
4 for Pikmin 4.
Platinum new title. They're confirmed to be working on a Switch game, but we don't know what. I can see it being revealed now. When else would it be revealed?
Yeah,
right?
When else?
Yeah. 0. Oh yeah, that's a 100% chance. Platinum's going to reveal their Switch title.
1.
Retro's new title. So Retro Studios is the one who used to make Metroid Prime, and then they went on to make Donkey Kong Country games. And now we don't know what they're working on. For a couple of years, we haven't known what they're working on.
I think they're going to be announcing new stuff, but I don't think Retro, of all people, especially since they've been so absent, is going to be the one that kindly take up that. I mean, unless
it's the Metroid one.
Game. And yeah. But this isn't proof of that. This is just someone naming 2 things related.
No, I know, but I'm saying like they just haven't been active for a while, right? So they're working on something, and they've worked on Metroid in the past.
Just because I don't believe Metroid's coming, I'm going to give it a 3.
Ooh, I'm going to give it a 2, just because Retro has been absent for so long. Yeah. Pokken Tournament Switch, so sure. Yeah. I'm going to give it a 1, but like a 1 Jade Cocoon, because I'm not sure, but I bet we're going to get a ton of Wii U HD remasters on this. Yeah. You know, because they just have them and no one played them on the Wii U. So they're like, some of these are pretty good. Please play them. Pokemon Stars multi-platform. People think this is going to be like the Pokemon Yellow version to the Sun and Moon, whatever.
Yeah. No. If Pokemon was coming, there would be way more campaign behind it.
I don't know. People have been talking about it. Like, I feel since Sun and Moon came out, they've been like, "Oh, there's gonna be Pokemon Stars on the Switch and blah blah all this stuff."
3 or 4. 4.
I'll give it a 2. I'm gonna give it 2. 2. I could see it happening. I could see them porting a Pokemon game, even if it's just Sun and Moon, to the Switch. You know what I mean?
Well, I could see that, and if they called it Stars, though, that would be weird. But even if they did do that, and that was the case, and they added just a couple of extra Pokemon,
I think, well, that's what it would be, right? That's what Yellow is, that's what Emerald is, that's what Crystal is.
I could see that.
It would just be a couple new Pokemon, maybe a new location. You know,
I could see that.
A bigger Elite Four, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I could totally see that. So let's say 2.
Yeah, let's say 2. Because I can see it happening.
Yeah.
Etrian Odyssey 5 confirmed for localization.
No clue.
I don't know what that is, so 5 Jade Cocoons.
5 for Odyssey 5.
Sony predictions. I thought he already had these, but I'm gonna whatever. Spider-Man stage demo. I think we're probably gonna get a gameplay demo.
Yeah,
I think for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 0. Days Gone stage demo.
Which one was Days Gone?
That was the one that looked like Last of Us with zombies.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll see more.
They already confirmed that they're going to be there. They said like quote like we'll be here in a big way.
Yeah.
So yes, Zero.
Yeah.
That'll be there for sure. God of War trailer.
I also was going to say God of War gameplay and release, so it's a 0 plus more.
Yeah.
It's like a -2.
Yeah, it's like a -2 Jade Cocoon. Yeah. So they're already out.
Yeah, the poster's up, everything's ready to go. Like we're going to see a lot of God of War at this one.
Death Stranding trailer. That's the thing. So we talked about Death Stranding. This is the third time talking about it.
Does a video clip count as a trailer?
I think we're probably going to get some fucking other CG cutscene thing.
Does that count as a trailer?
Yeah, that's a trailer.
Okay, then 0.
Yeah, a stage demo is someone playing the game on stage, and a gameplay trailer is just a fucking trailer of gameplay.
Uncharted Lost Legacy trailer? Well, yeah, 0. That's the expansion, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think, because I think it's coming out, like, very soon.
Very soon.
So this might be, like, the final push. Yeah. I don't think it'll be a lot of time, but I think
it's going to be, like, 10-second trailer and maybe some gameplay.
Knack 2 trailer? Sure. Probably in there at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, 0. Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer.
That's not happening.
I don't think so.
They just delayed it another whole year. Like.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
That's a 0. Or, sorry, a 5.
Horizon Zero Dawn expansion. I
could
hope so.
See it. I could see it though too. I could see it. Give it a 1. I could definitely see them doing that.
Yeah, I'll give that a 1.
Yep.
Yeah. More Ratchet and Clank remakes?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Spyro Trilogy remaster.
There's been some rumor about that.
I've seen, Spyro was used in some of their marketing material at some point this year.
And people seem to be talking about Spyro more suddenly, like in the last few months.
think it's because now that we finally are getting these Crash remasters, people are like, oh, fucking Spyro. And actually, personally, I think I like Spyro more. So.
I do too. I love Spyro.
Yeah, I think, like, this Crash remaster, I'm like, that looks fun. Like, I was like, I might go back to that.
Yeah.
Spyro, I would for sure go back to. I would at least play the first one.
First and second, but yeah.
13 Sentinels trailer and footage.
What the fuck's 13 Sentinels?
People were going to do on-air research because we don't know what that is. We're very sorry.
I have no clue.
What the fuck is this? The fuck is 13?
Aegis
is a upcoming 2D sci-fi mecha video game developed by Vanillaware and published by Atlas, which is scheduled for release on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita.
Atlas has been working on all this time?
Yeah.
Oh, God, guys, we took a big dive from fucking, what is that called? Disgaea. Or Disgaea, whatever it is.
Disgaea. I mean, Atlas publishes a lot of stuff. They published Persona. Sure. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I never knew this existed.
Cool. Yakuza 6 trailer and footage. I can't keep track of these Yakuza games. I feel like I've been hearing about them forever.
Yeah, but I don't even know which one we're on anymore.
No, yeah. Is this a sequel? Is this a brand new one? Is this one that's already out that hasn't been localized yet?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it 5. Fuck off. Ni no Kuni 2 trailer and footage.
I wonder if we'll see it at E3 or the next Tokyo Game Show.
That's the thing.
It's ready to go.
We keep seeing it at
Tokyo Game Show.
No, the other one. The PSX.
PSX, yeah.
PlayStation Experience.
Yeah.
Because all of last year, if you listen to our podcast, we're bitching constantly about
no Ni no Kuni.
No Ni no Kuni. So
yeah. But they released new information.
They did, yeah. You're
new
right.
Stuff, a bunch of new stuff about it recently.
Yeah.
I know about all the gameplay functionality and even some other stuff.
You know what? Yeah, maybe we see it here.
I mean, maybe we see it here, but
I don't think it's gonna be a big thing where like they're gonna come out on stage and be like, "Fucking Ni no Kuni 4," and like you can make a castle or whatever. I think it'll be a small thing, and I think it might give a little release date of like Q1 2018 or something.
Oh no, I think we're gonna see it at the end of this year.
Oh, you think we're gonna get the end
I
of this
think
year?
it's that far along.
Ooh.
After all, I read
I hope so.
The interview with the director, and it seems very much likely like it's happening this year.
Okay,
so.
I hope so. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Stage demo. I have that too, Jade Cocoon. It could happen.
Yeah.
It could, but I don't think it's going to.
No.
VR stage highlight and software montage.
Yeah,
that'll happen.
Yep.
Indie montage.
Yeah,
that'll happen.
0.
And ending with a Last of Us 2 stage demo.
Oh, I hope so.
Do you?
I want it so bad.
Fuck, man. Do you think?
I want it so bad.
Like,
I think they're gonna open.
Okay,
with
so
Last of Us 2.
if you don't know, me and Mike are conspiracy theorists in this area, where we think that Last of Us 2 is farther along than they're telling.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But like, if you listen to just what they're saying, they're like, "Oh, we barely modeled the Joel." Like, you know, like.
And yet they're like actors sitting back and being like, "I've been doing this for 2 years."
Yeah.
You know?
So it's.
I want it so bad, and I'm just gonna say it's like
It's
one.
It's not okay. So it's not like Ni no Kuni, right? Because
No.
Ni no Kuni is a small enough niche game where they're like, okay, we're only going to show the PlayStation experience. But like Last of Us 2, it was premiere of the PlayStation experience, but like E3 is where it's going to thrive. It's huge.
It's going to demo itself. Like that's where it would do it. That's where like
We at
Neil
least-
Druckmann would come out.
We at least get another trailer. I don't know if we're going to get.
We at least
demo.
get another trailer.
Yeah. Trailer,
totally.
maybe not stage demo. I'm going to give stage demo a 3, but I'm going to give trailer a 0.
I'm totally with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Nintendo predictions. This guy's does he have hopes and predictions? What the fuck is this? Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Mario Odyssey trailer and Treehouse demo day 1. 0 for sure. We're getting that.
Yeah.
More arms in Splatoon 2. Yeah, for sure.
0.
Mario vs. Rabbids trailer.
0.
Yeah, we're getting that. Animal Crossing teaser.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think so.
The 1 or the 2.
Yeah, I'll even say 1. Nintendo spends a few moments on their online plans, but nothing detailed. Yes, 0.
Yes, it's gonna literally. That's the worst part about this. Their new online plans with their streaming service. Everyone's like reading the words and being like, "I don't understand what this even means or what they're offering." They're gonna come up and be like, "We stream games," and then like everyone's gonna be like, "But what kind and for how much and how many?" Games.
Who knows? Launches next week.
Yeah.
Like what? Zelda Breath of the Wild story DLC trailer.
DLC, really?
Yeah, they don't really do much DLC, right?
No.
Like, or you know what they did for Splatoon.
I don't see it for Zelda though.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it like 2.
I'm gonna give it. No, I'm gonna give it like a 4.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna say 2. Fire Emblem Warriors trailer, probably. Sure. Fire Emblem 2018 won't really be there. Sure. Octopath Traveler won't be there. Yeah, probably not.
No.
Skyrim trailer and date. Yeah, I'll give it a 0.
Yeah, sure.
And indie montage.
Yeah.
Other predictions: Shenmue 1 and 2 HD revealed. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I could totally see that. It's like a 0 for me. Like
Yeah.
I could totally see that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely gonna happen. Final Fantasy 15 PC finally official. Did they ever release 13 on PC?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I can see that.
Maybe.
Trails of Cold Steel PC trailer. I don't know what that is.
No.
All right. We got through that. That was one man giving us like 20 minutes of content. All right. The other lists are not nearly as long. No, we talked about this one already. Cyberpunk 2077.
It's basically clear enough is that Rockstar's delayed Red Dead Redemption and probably going to be focusing in on Cyberpunk, maybe? We'll see.
Yeah. I think we might get a trailer for Cyberpunk 2077, but other than that, I don't think so. All I want out of E3 is a lengthy KH3 trailer, which is Kingdom Hearts 3. I think so.
You're going to get it.
New Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer.
You're not going to get it.
As we discussed.
That's a 5.
That's a 5. Not probably not going to get it at this point. Unless they already have. No, but you know what? Even if the other company had made a trailer for E3, they probably don't want to show that off anymore because they don't want it to be indicative of like what they had been doing, and then they want to,
Yeah, exactly.
Devil May Cry 5 announced for PS4. Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
Dante's back, baby.
No.
Still 2. Final Fantasy 15 to PC. A lot of people want that. Zelda Breath of the Wild story DLC trailer. You know what? Maybe they have confirmed they're doing DLC.
Maybe.
They must have.
Must have.
Dragon Quest 11 North American release. Again, people seem to want that. Are you interested in playing a Dragon Quest game?
No.
Yeah, me neither, really.
I've looked it up and I just can't find anything about the videos of someone playing that looks interesting.
It seems just like the most generic like JRPG in the world, and I know they're huge in Japan, but I don't know. New God of War gameplay, yep, for sure. Xenoblade 2 gameplay trailer, almost for sure. And Pokemon Stars announced for Nintendo Switch.
Maybe there's some rumor out there that we're not hearing.
There is. Since Sun and Moon was announced, people have been talking about, is there Pokemon Stars coming? It was just some random asshole saying it. Nintendo's never once uttered the word stars out of their face, so they just think it's going to happen. They think there's going to be like a version of Sun and Moon on the Switch, which I can see. Here are my hopes and demands. Hopes, dreams, and demands for the Sony conference. Spider-Man kicks off the show with a gameplay and release date.
No. Not a gameplay and release date, no.
Yeah, again, I think we're gonna.
That's too much Spider-Man stuff in one for this, just considering what the state of it.
Just saying a release date isn't like that big of it's a big deal, but it's not like it's 20 seconds at the end of the gameplay demo.
Yeah, if they gave you like a quarter it was in, I could probably follow that. But like if they came in and were like March 20th,
that's what that's why I think it's gonna be fall 2018. Like I said, shadow drop of PlayStation All Stars Kart Racing. A spiritual successor to Crash Team Racing, but with all Sony characters with some surprise cameos. Available now. Free-to-play model like Killer Instinct. I love you, man. This sounds like a great idea. I'm totally on board with this. I love Crash Team Racing. It is not going to happen.
No.
That's a 5.
Sorry,
there's
man.
No way. Unless there's some rumor I'm not privy to.
No.
That's not happening. Twisted Metal HD Collection. I'm going to give that like a 4. I just don't think there's any indication that people want more Twisted Metal right now.
No, but there's a big fervor for it. I could see them just putting it in on the part of that whole like remastered section where like, you also get this new again.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. Infamous HD Collection. 1 and 2 plus the DLC.
Meh. 1 and 2, not the third one?
Oh, yeah.
No Second Son?
No Second Son.
No.
We don't want it.
Nope.
I mean, Sucker Punch is probably going to have a new IP. The only way I can see that happening is if they were doing Infamous 4 and they were like, and you can also play the first 2 like remastered and solid updated for the PS4, you know, like.
But they're not working on Infamous, so.
Yeah, it'd be weird if they're like, this is our new dystopian landscape fuking RPG, and at the very end,
here's our old
also
one.
Infamous.
And then here's the old one we used to do.
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's unlikely. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Shuei asks Greg Miller to join him on stage and announces the ability to change PSN IDs. Not happening.
That's a very ceremonious way to do it, but it won't happen.
No, that's 5.
No.
PS Plus adds a PS Now subscription for no extra charge.
That gets,
not for no extra charge. They might do like a PS Plus, you know, where you pay a little bit more, like not as much as you might pay. Like I don't know.
Well, I think they might do actually what I would see them doing with this, which I think will actually happen, is the PS Now is something people really like to use, but the charge for it is too much. I've even stopped using it. I think it's like $12 a month to just have continual subscription to it.
Yeah.
And you're doing 12 or something like that, or 19 for your PS Plus, right? So like I'm paying $30, $40 for me to have both these services. And it's dumb because you guys used to sell me the games singularly as full downloads on my PS3 for all the classic games I used to get. So I don't want to have that much money chunked into you all the time. And I've turned it off, and I think a lot of other people are doing the same thing, being like, I loved your service, don't want to pay for it. So they might do a PS Plus with PS Now subscription, and it's only like $7 more or something. And I would be down with that.
I can see it. PS1 and PS2 games become fully backwards compatible. I mean, we already have PS1 on the PlayStation Store, and we have PS2, not all of PS2 games, but we have some PS2 games available to buy. I don't really know what this means. Does he mean, like, you get a PS2 disc and just put it in your system?
I don't think they're going to suddenly come in and re-hardwire everyone's consoles.
We're coming to every house in North America. Like, no.
But what I really would love, though, is that the PS Now system is cool, but I want them to go nuts this E3 on saying we're putting in like 200 to 300 extra titles. Make it worth my while, because I've currently played 6 games on there. They were the 6 games I wanted to play, but the 27 to like 40 other games that I want to play that are from PS2 to PS3, none of them are on there.
Yeah, you want the obscure ones where you're like, oh, fuck it, Dark Cloud? Yeah, like I want to play that, or like whatever, right?
Well,
you want a library of stuff where you're like a bunch of things where you're like, I'll play that, I'll play that, I'll play that.
Or that really popular game that I never got to play, right? Like I want to play Radiant Story, I never got to play it. I was going to play it on my PS3 before I got a PS4.
Are you with Heavy Rain?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's what I did with Heavy Rain. That's what I did with the other one, the other Heavy Rain.
Oh, yeah. Heavy Rain 2.
Yeah. The other game that's just like that. Battlefront
2 VR, full space battles.
Isn't that just a Star Wars Battlefront?
Yeah. Probably. I don't pay attention to Battlefront games.
No.
I'm not sure. Sucker Punch closes the show with their brand new IP. Yeah, probably.
Well, I don't think they're going to close on Sucker Punch, but...
Okay, maybe we should make a bet about this one, but like, as far as we can tell, that's the only studio that we know that's working. We don't know what they're working on, right? Yeah. But so like, if it's the new thing, that might be the thing to be like, and one more thing.
No, I don't think they'll announce a new title as a closer. Whenever they did the last 3 shows, when they did the closer was the big, like, hey, remember this game? Here's the awesome new one, right? It's always like, oh my god, it's back.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Right? They did their new IP last time with the Days Gone one halfway through, and they're like, you won't believe what we've been working on. Here's our awesome game.
They ended on that.
They ended on Days Gone?
Yeah. Everyone was fucking...
Oh, you're right.
Because they opened...
It was PlayStation Experience that ended on Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, when that left us crying, and your girlfriend watching us wondering what's wrong.
That's right. Are you guys dying?
Yeah.
You know... Yeah, I don't know. But the Days Gone thing was weird, though, because you're right. I think you should end the show with something that's like Final Fantasy VII Remake, because it leaves you such a good taste in your mouth. A new IP can be exciting, too, but the trailer you play at the end is something you kind of want to just walk off and not have to explain. It's just like, this is fucking rad, and you leave, and then it just goes dark after that, and everyone's like dying.
Yeah.
So the new IP, they're probably gonna want to say a word or two about. They're gonna want to be like, this has RPG functioning, fucking whatever. Yeah. No, not closing the show. No. Yeah, maybe opening the show.
Maybe opening the show.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. This other man's Sony hopes and dreams. Open with a man with a violin and a woman in a black dress singing in a very dark tune. I like this. Bloodborne 2 teaser. Sean Layden appears with a Jack and Daxter shirt, teasing a remake.
No.
I mean, I could see a remake happening, just not by Naughty Dog.
And stop it with the t-shirts. Wear a suit.
Yes, exactly. Wear a suit.
Yeah.
Spider-Man gameplay trailer. Yep. Marvel's Capcom Infinite full cast trailer. Sure.
Well, they already released the full cast, so yeah, of course.
No, they didn't.
Didn't they just have the whole list?
That was a leak. And we didn't go over it because I didn't think it was worth talking about. So.
No, but I mean, I thought there was like.
No, that was not confirmed. That was leaked.
Confirmed.
That was from someone else who like leaked the game itself.
Well, considering what happened last year, then it's probably going to happen again this year.
Probably. Monster Hunter 5 in-engine trailer.
Sure.
Isn't that new Monster Hunter game on the Switch?
Yes.
Monster Hunter XX or whatever.
Yeah.
Or are they on multiple?
They're
consoles?
always on Nintendo, aren't they?
They were on Sony PSPs for the longest time, and then they switched over to the 3DS, and now the newest one's on the Switch. So I don't fucking know. Call of Duty World War II gameplay demo and exclusive content. Sure, I can see that. Yeah. Every year that happens.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2 story trailer. No. And God of War full trailer.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2 gameplay trailer.
Nah.
I feel like I don't want to say yes.
I don't want to say no because I don't want to be disappointed, but I don't want to say that you're not going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. To anyone who knows of Last of Us and us, so it's just to know that we want it. All we do is want it.
All right. Next one. In order to win a bet, I need 6 of the following to be shown on stage at a press conference with something visual. Dragon Age Inquisition 2. Dragon Quage.
Dragon Age will not be there because they're going to release their new IP.
Yeah, I can't see them.
BioWare just shrunk their team because of the fuck up with Mass Effect. They're not going to come in and be like, we were also on the side working on this one.
Yeah, very unlikely, right?
Yeah.
The Evil Within 2. I think that's almost guaranteed. I think.
Yeah, I can give it a 1.
Yeah, I'll give that one a 1. New Splinter Cell.
I've been hearing rumors about that.
I hope. I've been hearing a lot more buzz. Ever since, maybe it's just because we just talked about it like 2 podcasts ago. But now I feel like I'm seeing the word Splinter Cell pop up more, and people be like, "Yeah, time for Splinter Cell."
I've seen news reports about stuff people talking about Splinter Cell, so I feel like that's the percolation of something. I'll give it like a 2 or 3. But
I think it's
like
worthy of 2. Yeah. Forza Motorsport 7. Yep.
Okay, sure.
Yep, I believe you. Bloodborne 2.
I don't think we're gonna see it, guys. I really don't.
I know everyone wants it though.
So I'm giving it a 4, but like I really don't think we're gonna see it.
Animal Crossing Switch. Probably. New BioShock. No, 4.
Oh, no, wait. Didn't we talk about this before when they said that they were coming with a new thing, and of all of them, it was most likely to be... Oh, it was most likely not to be BioShock. It was most likely to be...
So what Mike's referring to last week, we went over a rumor call from Take-Two, the publisher of BioShock, and they had a financial call, and they said, like, hey, within the next year, we're releasing one of our biggest, most anticipated IPs. And we went and we checked out everything they have, and based on, like, the only things it could be, really, is BioShock or Borderlands. Everything else has either come out too recently or sucks and isn't a thing.
Yeah. It makes more sense to do Borderlands.
I think it's Borderlands.
Yeah.
I don't think we're getting a new BioShock.
I don't think it's BioShock. I would love it if it would rather be BioShock than new Borderlands. So.
For sure. Me too.
Yeah.
New Devil May Cry.
No.
Yes. Yes!
No.
And then this guy goes on to say, I think Evil Within 2 and Forza Motorsport 7 are the only guarantees. Animal Crossing Switch maybe, but other than that, I think so.
Yeah.
Dream. Silent Hills.
Yeah, no, 5.
Sony Interactive Entertainment acquires their rights. It's on the Decima engine, which is Horizon's engine. Toyama directing. Kojima and Del Toro involved. No, there's no way. 5 Jade Cocoons.
That's not even a 5. It's like, oh, fuck. That's off the scale.
It's a Jade Cocoon that's gone to Silent Hill and has been left in that dimension.
Yes.
It's really only a 1, but in that dimension, it's like infinite.
Yes. Done.
Realistically, I'll just take a new Siren. As usual, I'd be hyped for Chrono Break.
It's never going to happen, but I want it so fucking bad.
If Square wanted to get a ton of people hyped, a new Chrono game would be the thing to do it.
That guy getting up for the Marvel vs. Capcom thing, like, and he's putting his hands in the air going, yes, and everyone else is sitting down, like, the whole crowd would just start punching each other in the face.
I could be the only one.
Yeah, I've only seen it. Like freaking out. I don't understand. They have an IP that since the fucking Nintendo or Super Nintendo days has retained as much power as the entire Final Fantasy series combined.
Yep.
And they're just going, oh.
Yeah, it's very odd that they just dropped that mid PS1 era because they did Chrono Cross, right?
Yeah. Which wasn't anything close to the game it should have been.
Do you think, this is just fucking random speculation, Tokyo RPG Factory, the little company that did I Am Setsuna, do you think that has any chance of ever, maybe one day Square's going to be like, hey, do Chrono Break, or do Chrono 3?
No.
You don't think so? And it's that style?
They would not make that IP go anywhere other than their main studios.
You don't think so?
They would have to invest it, no.
I feel like they don't give a fuck. Because they would have done something with it by now.
Well, we could say the same thing with Parasite Eve and all of the others. But Chrono Break, or Chrono
I don't think they give a fuck about Parasite Eve. No. I really don't.
Chrono means too much. I don't think they'd give that up. So no, we won't see it. But oh my god, would I want it?
Yeah, as it
There's
stands,
nothing I've been anticipating more.
As it stands, Chrono 3 is a 5 Jade Cocoon proposition.
For sure.
Alright. Spider-Man opens the conference. Fall 2017 or early 2018 release. Yeah, this is more in line with what you're thinking, right? Yeah. Uncharted The Lost Legacy gameplay.
Sure.
Yeah, that'll happen.
It seems to be going quite well.
Days Gone, new trailer.
Yep.
Knack 2 story trailer. Releases end of 2017. Sure, I don't care.
I don't care.
PlayStation All-Stars 2 reveal.
No.
No.
That failed so badly.
I'm going to go to 4, Jade Cocoon.
Yeah.
I don't think it's 5, because it's not, like, Other Dimension unlikely yet, but, like, it's pretty fucking unlikely. Gran Turismo Sport, release date and open beta. This Gran Turismo seems to have problems. It seems like it's been delayed like 1,000 times.
Oh, has it? I don't follow it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, that'll happen. 0 Jade Cocoon. You guys got it. Yeah. New VR experiences.
Yep.
Yes. Very vague.
Yeah.
Announcement: every PSVR pack now includes the PlayStation camera for the same price of $399 and bundled with PlayStation VR Worlds.
It was okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that
good?
Does the PlayStation VR come with those fucking the sticks you need, the handle thing?
I don't know.
Or do you have to buy them separately?
I don't know.
Because I would find it more likely to have a bundle coming with those things. I thought I heard people talking about,
but those sticks have to have the camera thing, like remember the Wii where you had to put the camera out in front of your, not the camera, but the motion sensor thing in front before you could wiggle your stick around correctly and then align it with the center of your TV.
Oh, so you need that as well to
make the sticks work.
So you need the VR headset, the camera, and the sticks. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe a pack of everything?
That would make sense. But not for the price you're asking for.
No, that's
that's gonna be $700 minimum.
Call of Duty World War II campaign gameplay. Sure, yes, they always show Call of Duty. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare announced to be part of PlayStation Plus free games in July. Unlikely. Crash Team Racing Insane Edition announced at the end of the year with 4-player split screen and 8-player online support. So I'm thinking this is gonna what this means because the Crash trilogy, the remaster is called Insane.
Yeah.
So maybe just Crash Team Racing Insane. I fully support this. I want this. That's a fun ass game. 2. I'm gonna give it 2. I was gonna say 3, but it's 2.
We'll give it 2.
Yeah, I'll give it 2. Yeah. I don't think it'll be that much work, and someone else they're already remastering something, so whatever. Update on Shenmue 3.
We're gonna get something about that because they just keep fucking talking about it. But I would expect like a Shenmue collection of some kind, more likely.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, Shenmue 3 is still way off, even though it was announced like 2 years ago at this point.
But instead, here's the whole collection.
Yeah, here's the collection. Catch up before you get 3. Yeah. Some indies, including one stealth drop, releasing on the day of the conference.
That would be the Sucker Punch IP to me, rather than.
But no, they're not going to drop another. They're not going to drop a game that big on the day of the conference. There's no way. People would die. Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer confirmed for early 2018.
Probably.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 single player gameplay. Not at Sony. I don't think so.
I was going to say.
Destiny 2 new gameplay with exclusive limited edition PS4. Yes, 100%. That'll happen. Even the new PS bundle. Like my PS4 was a Destiny bundle, I believe.
Yeah.
God of War new gameplay trailer. Yes. Sucker Punch new IP and Last of Us gameplay glimpse. That seems like everyone's best guess is the Last of Us 2 hit at the end.
But this list is accurate also down to the timing and the order. This is not actually half bad of what the Sony press conference will end up being. Or that's not Sony.
Yes, it's Sony.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is... Oh, yeah, sorry. It is.
I mean, they can still show it there, right? Yeah. Even though it's going to be on Xbox.
Yeah. that's pretty well. That's a pretty solid lineup. Like I could go with that and be like, hey, I believe.
Like if looking at that list, do you think would you come away? I would not come away as blown away unless Sucker Punch's new IP or The Last of Us Part 2 trailer was good, great. You know what I mean? Which it will be.
Would you not be blown up with this lineup?
It's good, but it's not. We keep talking. I don't know if they're gonna be able to top last year's. You know, with all these reveals of stuff. You know, it's just now it's like it feels like they're showing us all the they revealed the last year. Now they're showing the product of those reveals finally, and that's cool. And I'm excited for that. But there's not gonna be that like whoop whoop. Moment.
I don't know.
The only thing I think is Sucker Punch's new IP giving that newness, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's some stealth thing that's going to pop up in there, and half expecting it. It
has to be, right?
Yeah, there has to be something hidden that we are completely unaware of, or like where they come out with like something like Last of Us 2. Like that was the best drop I've had, even out any ever,
ever all time.
Like oh god, I never had something come up on screen and then a little symbol appear, and like you get kind of a shiver. But I don't know. Yeah, but that lineup is still strong. I'd be totally happy with that.
Yeah, strong, just not like, Dick's hard, but it's not like diamonds.
It's not like morning wood, but like also an erection.
It's like when you're on the bus and you're just kind of like sitting there vibrating, and your dick gets a little harder. You're like, fuck, like, I gotta sit down. Because it's not completely flaccid, but it's not hard either. It's just this kind of like weird, malleable state.
It's a chub.
Yeah, it's like a half chub, and you're like, I think I got a half chub over that. Although it might go to like 3/4 chub if like the God of War demo and the Last of Us demo get me really hyped.
I was thinking if any of those came out with release dates, the big ones like Last of Us 2, God of War, Kingdom Hearts 3, if all three of those had release dates and even days on it, that would make the whole conference like brain busting for me because I would never expect all three of those to have solid days.
It'd be crazy if all three of them did, yeah.
And what would also pump that up even more is that they've been really good at misinformation, and those release dates end up coming out in the winter to December, January, February of 2017, 2018. That they like front load or end load and front load the year. Yeah. That would make me go like, what? How could you have been hiding all these games that's so far done?
I think I might still be 3/4 chub. I need a surprise in my life. I need a whip.
You need a whip.
Gotta whip
candle wax.
Bit, yeah, a little candle wax over mine. Hey, Parasite Eve remake. Hey,
yeah.
like something like that. Devil May Cry 5. Something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there will be new stuff there. There's gotta be, right? It can't just be the Sucker Punch thing. No. Lastly, those last person predictions. Shenmue 1 and 2 remaster ahead of 3's release. We already said yes.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn DLC as Rost.
It's an interesting idea for a DLC.
It is interesting. This is I was thinking about this actually earlier today. I was like, this is like one of the only DLCs I've ever been excited for.
Oh fuck! I gotta play the game again, don't I? Or can you play DLC without beating it?
It depends. Sometimes they do like just here's it standalone, and you can just play it. Other times it directly connects. If you play as Rost, like nothing would carry over. It'd be separate.
I have to play again.
It would suck if you had to play again.
Yeah.
Let's hope that's not the case.
No.
God of War, Spider-Man, yep. Either Final Fantasy 7 or Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Long Destiny 2 section, probably. Yeah. Battlefront 2 VR section. People seem to be fucking on that. Uncharted DLC. Spyro remake? Sure. Yes. Maybe open with Call of Duty World War 2 and close with Bloodborne 2 or the new IP by Sucker Punch.
New IP by Sucker Punch, not Bloodborne
2. Yeah. So that's about it. You know what wasn't mentioned at all? Resident Evil Remake 2.
Oh, yeah.
Not at all.
Not a bit.
And so, yeah, it was announced on fucking Facebook, YouTube on August 2015. So it's now June 2017. They gotta have something, right?
I'm sure.
Resident Evil 7 is released. It's over. Last year they revealed it at Sony's conference, so I can see something similar happening here again, maybe?
I don't know. I can't really say.
It's so fucked because they never talk about it. They announced it once and they're like, this might be happening.
These remakes are turning out to be bigger projects than everyone keeps on thinking. They're like, oh, we already have the game made. We just got to make it look prettier. And then suddenly, like 5 years later, they're like, it was bigger than I thought.
It's weird. It's weird what these old games are remaking, right? Because they just don't work now as well, right? Yeah. So, because Resident Evil, if you go back and play Resident Evil 2, it's clunky and weird, and it's, like, it's fine. It was good at the time, but, like, now you wouldn't want to play a game like that. So, like, unless they improve it, like, you know what? Resident Evil 1 Remake plays pretty well. If they gave it those kind of updates, like, they could do that. Or do they take it and make it a little more action-oriented and give it the Resident Evil 4, 5, 6 look? Or do they do the new look, the Resident Evil 7 look, and you make it first person? People will be pissed, probably.
Yes.
And yeah, same thing with Final Fantasy 7, right? Like, yeah, it seems like it's been such an undertaking to, like, convert that into, like, a real 3D action game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, that's the weird conversion that they even do. Will they change the system entirely? Final Fantasy 7 Remake, like, they could have just made brand new graphics for it and literally done the same game, and everyone would have been thrilled with that. I don't think it would have drawn in new audiences and made it a wave like this is going to make. But going in and making an action game is really surprising with Resident Evil 2. What if they went in and they just really ramped this up, you know? Like, jumping mechanics are suddenly in, you know?
It's a pachinko game. Okay, Mike, so this will be our last bit of E3 before E3 actually happens.
Yep.
What? Is there any last words you have? Any final, like, something you really want? Any reasonable hope, anything?
Well, most of my reasonable hopes are in there. That's the weird part about this E3 is I'm like, I kind of think everything I want's going to be there. I don't know what's hiding. And I can't figure out what that game is. But I'm like, what game haven't they done it yet? Like, I mean, what I would really want to see, though, is my, I guess I'd call them my unreasonable hopes. I want to see some Cyberpunk. I want to see, Choose Your Own Adventure game, Cyborg.
Detroit.
I want to see some Detroit.
Yeah, no one mentioned Detroit there.
No one mentioned Detroit.
Interesting, yeah.
I want to see some God of War, which I will definitely see. I want to see some Kingdom Hearts 3. I really hope that all the horrible news from Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't as bad as it is, and I see some of that. And then give me some Chrono Break.
So I think you don't mind reasonable ones. Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Parasite Eve.
Yeah.
Dino Crisis.
Yeah.
Dead Space.
Yeah.
Skate 4.
Ugh.
But my one reasonable one, and I know you want this too, just port Final Fantasy IX to the PS4.
Fucking do
fucks.
it. Just do it.
It's on the iPhone before PS4. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Don't even remaster it or update it or HD it. Just put it on.
But it's already on. But it's on Steam. It's on fucking phones. Just let it happen. Watch them be like, and now Final Fantasy VIII is remade. No.
Just let us have the nines.
Yeah, I really. That's honestly my most reasonable hope going in.
Yes,
that's my most reasonable hope going in for sure. All right, that's it for the Pens and Pixels podcast this week. If you want to find me on Twitter, I'm at TheCalG. Mike is at Mike Kent Draws. And Pens and Pixels across all social medias. Pick your poison.
Yep, so be sure to give us a like, a share, and a subscribe on SoundCloud. Also, you can check out our YouTube content. We release videos on there, actual videos, not just a picture sitting, as well with our usual podcasts on YouTube. So give us a subscribe and a thumbs up on that. Drop us a comment on SoundCloud, YouTube. You can send us a message over Twitter, email at meetpensandpixels@gmail.com. Hope to hear from you guys and see you next week.
Let's board the hype train again.
You know, I'm kind of done with hype.
Not me.